Good morning, dear students. Let us start our chapter, the fundamental unit of life. The fundamental unit of life, and that is nothing but the cell. Now, why cell is called the fundamental unit of life? Dear students, you know all the matter is made up of tiny particles called the atoms or the molecules. All the matter are made up of tiny particles called the atoms or the molecules. In the same way, all the living body is made up of tiny basic substances, units you can say, and those units are called the cell. That means all a big body, whether it is a body of ant or your body or a body of tree or a body of whale, all these bodies, living bodies, are made up of tiny units and they are called the cell. So, the fundamental unit of life is cell. Now, what is cell? Actually, the word cell has arrived from the word cellulae, in which cellular means small compartment. Small compartment. You are traveling by a train, and a train is a long van which is comprised of several bogies. Now, each bogie can be regarded as a cell. Your school building is comprised of several small rooms. Each room can be separately called as compartment or a cell. Likewise, the word cell means small compartment. One scientist named Robert Hooke, when he was working with cork, cork is a plant product, when he was working with a piece of cork, it was in 1665, he came to observe some compartment-like structures. Honeycomb-like structure. Okay, I'm not able to draw it properly. It was a honeycomb. You have seen honeycomb. These honeycomb-like structures, suppose let us draw like this way. Okay, these type of compartments he was able to observe in that piece of cork, and he called them as cell because of their small size and structure. In actual, the literal meaning of cell is small compartment. So, as these are appearing as small compartments, he named them as cell. Got it? Now you have got the meaning of cell, why it was called cell. The type of cell. Depending upon the structure, there are some organisms which are having only one cell. There are organisms which are made up of only one cell. Only one cell. And they are called the unicellulars. Got it? There are some other organisms which are made up of more than one cell. They are called the multicellular. So in the unicellular, only one cell is performing all the activities of life. All the life processes such as nutrition, respiration, excretion, locomotion, transportation, growth, development, reproduction, everything, all the life processes are performed by a single cell. Whereas in multicellular organisms, cells are defined with particular type of function. That means some cells are performing the function of giving strength to the body. Some cells are performing the function of messaging or forwarding or receiving messages. So depending upon the function they are performing, their structures are also different. Let us discuss about multicellular. In multicellular, cells comprise tissue. That means same type of cells having same origin and performing a specific type of function, they comprise tissue. Same tissue comprises organs. That means tissue of same type, same origin, performing a specific type of function, they comprise of organ. Different organs forms an organ system, and different organ systems form the body. Got it? Now see why they are called the fundamental unit of life, because a body is ultimately made up of cell. Many cells comprise tissue, many tissues comprises organs, many organs comprise organ system, and many organ system comprises the complete body. Hence, this is the reason why cells are called the fundamental unit of life. They are also called, cells are also called the structural and functional unit of life. The structural and functional unit of life. The structure, why structure? Because of this organization, just you came to know. Why they are called the functional unit of life? Because whatever the function of a body is, what are the functions of yours? Your body, the main function, the functions which are responsible for the existence of the life, they are nutrition, excretion, respiration, and so and so. All those functions, this single cell is able to perform all those functions of the life. This single cell is able to perform. Because of this reason, they are called the functional unit. And since they are the unit, ultimate unit, which gives the structure of the body, hence cells are called the structural and functional unit of life. Is it clear till here? Cells are called the structural and functional unit of life. Pause. Now, shape of a cell. What a shape of a cell may be. In unicellular organisms, the cells or the body, except for the amoeba, has a definite shape and it is a fixed one. In multicellular organisms, where more than one cells are there and each cell is performing different type of work, so their shape also depends upon the function or the location they are performing. Suppose there are few examples of the shape of cells. Spherical, that means circular. Cells may be circular. For example, ovum. The cell of ovum in our body is circular. They may be spindle shape. That means spindle shape. This is spindle shape. This type of cells are present in muscle cells. Disc shape. This is disc. This is disc shape. This type of cells are present in blood cells, RBC. Elongated cells, that means the cell having elongations. This type of cells are present in nerve cells, and many more cells are there, muscle cells, bone cells, and so and so. So depending upon the function which they are performing, a cell may have different shapes in multicellular organisms. Moreover, when we will discuss or compare about the animal cell and plant cell, there also we will find several differences between animal and plant cell. Got it? That we will discuss on later. So this was the shape of the cell. Now, type of cell. Type of cell. Type of cell. Basically, on the basis of origin, cells are mainly categorized into two categories, and they are prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. We will discuss what are these prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells one by one. Let us start with prokaryotic cells. As the word indicates pro, that means the first, the initial. Prokaryotic cells. Now you are very well known that life has exists from only one origin. The variation in the life which we found today, they all have evolved from a single unit. So these prokaryotic cells are the initial cells, the primitive cells, the starting cells, the first cells, from where today's different type of cells has evolved. I mean to say, this life was started from only one type of living body, and gradually by the process of evolution, adaptation and several things which we will learn in next chapters, further chapters, these different forms of life have evolved today. So prokaryotic cells are the primitive cells, the starting cells, the earlier cells from which life have evolved. They were lacking nucleus. They were also not having membrane bounded organelles. Membrane bounded organelles means the organelles which are found inside the cytoplasm, the cell membrane. They are called the membrane bounded organelles, such as the nucleus, the mitochondria, and so and so. They had single DNA. They had a single DNA. DNA is the code which transmits the information from generation to generation. They were having single DNA. However, we are having complex DNA. So they were having single DNA. Heredity informations was in the cytoplasm. Hereditary information was embedded in the cytoplasm. So these were the few basic points. There are many more points. When we will start writing the notes, we will discuss the points, or we will mention the points. Let me brief you. These are the basic points or the characteristics of prokaryotic cells, the cells which were found earlier, or the cells which are the primitive, the initial cells, but they are called the prokaryotic cells. Now, unlike these prokaryotic cells, just as yesterday we distinguished some points, likewise eukaryotic cells are just reverse of it. That is, they have the nucleus. Eukaryotic cells have the nucleus. They were not lacking the membrane bonded organelles. That means they have the mitochondria, the Golgi bodies, and so and so. Eukaryotic cells have the membrane bonded organelles. They have more than one DNA. The hereditary information is embedded in the nucleus, not in the cytoplasm. The hereditary information is, you can write here is instead of, okay. because these prokaryotic cells may be found today also. So these are the points. Hereditary information is in the cytoplasm in case of prokaryotic, but in case of eukaryotic, hereditary information is in the nucleus instead of cytoplasm. So these were the basic shape of a cell, definition of a cell, and the two type of cell, the prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell, and the total study of cell. The study of cell is termed as cell biology or cytology. You know very well. Cytology or the cell biology is a term coined for the study of cell. Okay, so that's all for today's class. We will continue the topic in the next classes also. Till then, watch this video again and again and mark out the doubts if you have any. You can consult me in any time to clarify those doubts. Got it? Thank you. Have a nice day.